It's a tradition that began in Japan 2 decades ago, where two chefs go head-to-head in a timed battle using a secret ingredient. And our Iron Chefs are always ready, just lying in wait to discover who dares challenge their position in Kitchen Stadium tonight.
And stepping into Kitchen Stadium tonight is former MasterChef bad boy, Chris Badenoch. He is a seasoned TV campaigner, but how will he fare against the might of the Iron Chefs? The Italian maestro, Iron Chef Guy Grossi. The French emperor, Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi. And the titan of Australasia, Iron Chef Neil Perry. It is the Iron Chef versus the Master Chef. And when it comes to the judging,
it's harder than the plastic surgery on a Hollywood starlet.
Someone will stumble.
This, to me, it's a lovely dish, but it's too sweet.
The Iron Chefs await the contender.
This bloke's a true Aussie, a beer merchant turned master chef. Take your hat off to tonight's challenger, Chef Chris Badenoch.
Tonight's challenger, Chris Badenoch, is no stranger to cooking in front of the cameras. With partner Julia Jenkins, he starred on the first series of MasterChef.
Firstly, I'm not a chef. I'm just a passionate home cook who's started a food career heading towards being a chef one day.
Chris is regarded as one of Australia's most creative amateur cooks. He has a passion for beer and meat, and he plans to combine both in the restaurant that he and Julia are opening in Melbourne.
It's all about celebrating the entire beast, matching food and beer, cooking with beer where appropriate, and just basically coming along, having a good time and enjoying yourself.
But before the doors open, Chris has set himself an even bigger challenge: to defeat the Iron Chef.
I'm incredibly competitive. I want to win every single time I do something, so I'm out there to kick some ass. I love to win.
Welcome, Chef Chris Badenoch.
Thank you.
You're no stranger to performing and cooking under pressure.
That's
How
true.
does it feel tonight to be in Kitchen Stadium and here for the legend that is Iron Chef?
It's pretty amazing and pretty intimidating, I've got to say, so it's going to be a whole new experience.
Well, that process is only going to get a lot more intense. It's time for you now to choose which one of our amazing Iron Chefs you will engage in battle tonight.
I think I'm more familiar with French-style techniques, and he's certainly the scariest looking one up there. So I choose Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi.
A cook since he was 15 and classically trained in France, Iron Chef Brahimi came to Australia 20 years ago. Now his signature restaurant is in the heart of Australia's most iconic building.
Every day when I come here, I pinch myself. You know, I walk the stairs here and I'm saying I'm going to my restaurant.
Since opening Guillaume's at Bennelong, he's earned the industry's highest accolades.
My strength as a chef will be my discipline, the respect of the produce, and the love of what I do.
Now, all the Iron Chef's skills will be put to the test as he faces the ultimate challenge in Kitchen Stadium.
Do I want to win the competition? I wouldn't be an Iron Chef if I didn't want to win.
Tonight, both chefs will be challenged to complete 4 sensational dishes in just 1 crazy hour. Central to all of those dishes must be the secret ingredient. And to reveal what that secret ingredient is, here's the chairman.
Tonight, our secret ingredient, the theme in which our chefs will offer their succulent variations, is chocolate!
I don't do chocolate.
Battle chocolate, now we are talking. It's going to be some fine food with a little fun on the side tonight, that is for sure. And while our Iron Chef's creative juices start flowing like a chocolate fountain, let's welcome their teams. For Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi, Jose Silva and Kevin Solomon. And for Challenger Chef Chris Badenoch, another familiar face. His partner in life and their new restaurant together, Julia Jenkins and sous chef Hugh Colbatch.
I'm thinking for the eggs, I just take a whole.
Yeah, whole tray.
I need 24 plus 5, I need 29 eggs.
Eggs, maybe? Chocolate eggs.
Eggs,
Easter bunny.
I reckon too sweet, too savoury.
Too sweet, too savoury.
The teams are now taking their chance to strategise. What will they come up with to impress our esteemed panel of judges tonight? They're called the Palates of the People, Mr. Leo Schofield, Larissa Dubecki and Simon Thompson. And to steer us through Battle Chocolate tonight is our MC, Master of Chocolate, journalist and food expert, Mr. Richard Cornish. What an interesting ingredient tonight.
It will be challenging because you think chocolate, you go dessert. No, we're going to see some serious savoury dishes here tonight.
Innovation and things that you may never see before.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Well, the good news is the countdown to the battle has begun. It's time now to head to our chairman to find out whose cuisine will reign supreme.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi. Challenger Chef Chris Badenoch. Cuisine!
And the battle is on. If there was ever a meal made in heaven, you are going to see it tonight. Now remember their objective. Each team must give life to 4 dishes using chocolate as the core ingredient in each of their creations. And these chefs must impress our judges on taste, plating and originality in using that chocolate ingredient, Richard.
What I love about chocolate is that it has both an earthy aroma and has highlights, has fruit, and it has passion. It is one of those things that we all love. But tonight, making dishes that are going to be both sweet and savoury will be the challenge.
I've got the caster sugar.
I've got it as well.
Our first dish, we decided to pair white chocolate with a duck liver parfait. That contrast works really, really well, so we thought we'll give that a shot. Our second dish, venison chocolate, classic combination, venison cigars, and do a nice sweet sauce. Our third dish, chocolate porter panna cotta, and I think it's a great showcase for beer and dessert. Our last dish, chocolate sour cherry and salted butterscotch dessert. That's just a great marriage of different textures of chocolate. Chocolate's one of those delicate things and it needs a bit of a light touch, I think. I probably don't come across as a delicate kind of guy, but hey, it's cooking.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi starting off a bit of the action there with some milk going into the saucepan.
My first dish tonight is going to be a venison carpaccio with a chocolate dust and beetroot puree. My second dish will be roasted veal sweetbread with a chocolate gingerbread emulsion. My third dish is going to be a white chocolate granita with raspberry and strawberry soup. And my fourth dish is going to be a very simple warm chocolate tart with vanilla beans ice cream.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi, the first sign of some really lovely little action happening there. A pot of water, and those are sweetbreads.
Yeah!
Sweetbreads, of course, are glands from an animal, perhaps the pancreas or the thymus gland.
Doesn't sound that sweet or very bread-like.
They might sound a bit wrong, but they are a beautiful delicacy. And Iron Chef Brahimi is going to team them with, wait for this, a chocolate gingerbread sauce. Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi taking to some beautiful Tahitian vanilla pods there, the true flavour of vanilla. And a fair bit there. That's going to make one very rich ice cream. Over on the challenger side, Chris Badenoch, some white chocolate is being melted.
I think an issue to follow on our challenger side. I noticed that when the secret ingredient was revealed, the challenger Badenoch, the words that I heard come out of his mouth were, "Oh no, that's not good." He says, "I don't do chocolate."
I don't think that's the exact terms I use, but yeah, that's the sentiment.
What's the issue with chocolate that you have?
I'm more of a meat guy, so, you know, doing chocolate and desserts is really not my strong point, so it should be interesting. I'll introduce a bit of beer and see how we go.
Speaking of meat, Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi, we've just seen 2 beautiful loins of venison. Venison is, of course, deer. It's gamey, it's red, it's flavoursome, and it really goes well back with chocolate, funnily enough.
Really?
Yes, it does. This is the start of the carpaccio. It's going to be seared quickly, thinly sliced, but first he's rolling it in spices. Challenger side, out come some little moulds there. Challenger Chris, what's in the pot, mate?
I'm just melting some sugar down, heating up some cream. I'm making a chocolate porter panna cotta.
We heard the word porter, and porter is, of course, a type of beer.
It may end up being set cream, but we'll see.
Well, that's what the difference between panna cotta and set cream is that one is going to be slightly creamier than the other. Set cream, we'll see how it goes. See how that plays out tonight.
They have no formal training. Chef Badenoch, he says he's not a chef, but merely a good home cook. But I'll tell you what, so much rides on it tonight. They have a restaurant. It's soon to open called Josie Bones. And we certainly know that reputations can be made and broken in kitchen stadiums. So this is their chance to make a name.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi, classic French gingerbread. Guillaume, what do you call that in French?
Pain d'épices, spice bread.
Ah, pain d'épices, yes. It's not the hard gingerbread we're used to. It is, in fact, more like a spicy banana loaf, but without the banana. This is the start of that chocolate and gingerbread sauce for the sweetbread. Sweetbread's more about texture than flavour, so this sauce will set them off perfectly. Iron Chef's side, venison with a spice mix around the outside. Hitting the pan, a bit of olive oil and the sear of flesh into some cling film, rolled up. Keeps the shape. This will be chilled down now so they can slice it extra finely. Challenger Chris Badenoch. Panna cotta coming along very nicely. We're just seeing the arrival of duck livers, shallots, garlic, a little bit of butter and oil, orange into the pan. This is the start of what I reckon is the boldest dish of the night. Challenger Chris is making a duck liver parfait, which he'll serve inside a white chocolate egg.
Duck liver is quite delicate, but it needs a lot of fat to carry the flavour, and white chocolate's quite sweet, so that contrast works really, really well. So we thought, we'll give that a shot and see how it goes.
I think he's taking a massive gamble. This egg could fall flat with the judges. But creative risk-taking is what this competition is all about. He's putting them into a little square rectangular mould. Into the blast chiller now are those little panna cottas. Beautiful. Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi talking about ice cream now. Remember we saw those Tahitian vanilla pods being opened before, infused in the milk. This is now an anglaise we used to make an ice cream.
45 minutes to go.
What I'd like to point out too, Grant, what we're seeing here tonight is not normal restaurant behaviour. They're doing both preparation and service at the same time. Imagine doing your whole day's work in 1 hour. That is what we're seeing here tonight. That's what makes Kitchen Stadium such a fascinating place.
A lot of challenges, all in the space of just 60 minutes. And the battle is more peace than war at the moment. It's battle chocolate tonight. Our chefs have just 1 hour to produce 4 mouth-watering dishes, then present them to these people who will then decide their fate, including Australia's foremost food critic, Mr. Leo Schofield. Chocolate is essentially an aphrodisiac, so it's a good night for all of us.
Absolutely, yes.
But an interesting ingredient as well, isn't it?
Beautiful and flexible, and I'm looking forward to some interesting taste combinations and sort of designs tonight.
Beautiful. And from the Age here in Melbourne, Larissa, a little bit of drool in the corner of the mouth for you tonight. Is this something a little special and unique?
Just a little bit. I've been at the gym all week, so I'm hoping for some very indulgent desserts.
Simon.
Grant, I'm going the opposite way. I'm looking forward to some savoury dishes. We've seen some venison, which is a good sign. We've seen some sweetbread, so it's good to see the Iron Chef is thinking about main courses. One of my favourite drinks, actually, is a chocolate stout. So Chris, in this respect, is quite at home, but I think it's also, you see the importance of a good sous chef here, because bringing Julia along, she's the dessert expert. Otherwise, he probably would be in a bit of trouble when it came to dessert.
Now, while you might think that chocolate in a meal is a bit like a coronary on a plate, surprisingly, dark chocolate actually possesses one of the highest antioxidant content of any food. So there is an element of good.
On the Challenger side, this is nice, this is lovely. Lovely bit of ingenuity here. This is a egg mould. Eventually he's going to be filling these with duck liver parfait.
Salt.
I haven't got any salt.
Iron Chef side, big tray of hazelnuts into the oven. Hazelnuts, of course, wonderful nuts, but they do love a little bit of toasting. Now, we're going to see these used as part of a garnish for one of his desserts. Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi seeing a little bit of sweetbread action, cleaning them up. They went in the pot, they're being cooked, they're now just being trimmed. A delicacy in many, many places. A textural dish. A blank canvas to be painted upon. Iron Chef, sous chef Jose pouring in that gingerbread sauce into a little soda siphon, which goes back with the sweetbreads.
You're looking after my cream?
Yeah, cream's on.
Iron Chef side, a flash of green, sign of pistachios. Absolute wonderful little nut. So good with chocolate as well. Been given a little bit of a toast, a little bit of season with some spice there. Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi pouring into the ice cream maker. Cream, eggs, sugar, vanilla beans, many, many vanilla beans.
30 minutes to go.
The halfway mark now in our Kitchen Stadium Challenge. Challenger Julia Jenkins, she's certainly more the strength in that side in terms of the dessert.
Challenger Chris Badenoch, we saw a little bit of chocolate cake being made before. It has come out of the oven and been cut into little discs by Challenger himself, Chris. These will form the layers for his chocolate and sour cherry dessert.
How's that chocolate cream?
Coming out, just about to get cold now.
Also on the Challenger side, on the stove, in a pan, shallots, a little bit of spice as well. Looks like a little bit of cinnamon in there. Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi actually using his mouth to taste melted chocolate.
What do you use to test, Richard?
He's using... Temperature is so important in pastry cook work.
Rule number one when you use chocolate is the temperature is very important. You must be disciplined with the temperature. If you have to wait another 10 minutes till your chocolate cool down, it's better to wait 10 minutes than to have to do the whole thing again. And I said that by experience.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi pouring chocolate and eggs into moulds. This is part of his second dish, which will team up with that vanilla ice cream. Over on the Challenger side, ground venison has hit the pan.
Is that pate's cold, is it? The mousse?
Yeah, it should be.
That's on my desk.
This is the start of the Challenger's second savoury dish, venison and chocolate cigars. Challenger side, rhubarb in the sous vide machine. Air's been sucked out, and the rhubarb is now under pressure.
Sorry?
Grant, on the Challenger side, this doesn't look right, the sous vide machine.
I was thinking they were going to be in trouble with it. It's professional equipment, so we're unfamiliar with it, and it's just a foreign environment. But I find that if you freak out, others around you freak out, and you even freak yourself out.
Sous Chef Hugh looking really worried at the sous vide machine. It should not be doing this. It appears to be actually pushing air into the bag and not sucking it out. Looking very worried there.
And just my heart sank, and I thought, we're screwed.
Welcome back to Kitchen Stadium Australia, where our professional chefs have just under half an hour left to produce 4 tantalising dishes, each including the secret ingredient, which is chocolat. And at the moment, it is well underway. We have sweet, we have savoury, and it is the tastiest test of Australia's best as we count down.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi's vanilla ice cream is churning in the machine. He's sealed his spice-coated venison carpaccio and well underway sweetbreads with a chocolate gingerbread sauce. Challenger Chris Badenoch's taking a gamble with a duck liver parfait, which is going to present in white chocolate eggs. Chocolate venison cigars are also on the menu. But there's a snag with the sous vide machine, which could mean trouble for his dessert.
Grant, on the Challenger side, this doesn't look right, the sous vide machine. It appears to be actually pushing air into the bag and not sucking it out. Looking very worried there.
I was thinking they were going to be in trouble with it, but Julia just said to him, stick it in the pan, put the raspberries and the sugar in and go.
Just melt the sugar and the raspberries first.
The good thing is they just get on with it. They don't fall apart, and you know, I'm very proud of that.
Sous Chef Hugh, when all else fails, go back to the old-fashioned method.
Just put a bit of water in there as well.
Yeah, well.
20 minutes to go.
On the Iron Chef side, looks like a bit of ice cream success. A beautiful, rich vanilla ice cream. Also on the Iron Chef side, the little sweetbreads. A little bit of offal, a delicacy in many, many places. Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi, we said the ice cream is coming out beautifully before, but he seems to be having second thoughts about that. And he's taken it out of the ice cream machine and into the freezer. Giving a little bit of a lick. Iron Chef Brahimi, what's your ice cream like?
Very, very good. It's good.
Oh, well,
So far,
there,
so
he
good.
said it's good. We'll have to trust him on that one.
So you're on track?
So far, so good, yeah.
And what is the idea that you're trying to achieve with your creations tonight using chocolate?
Well, hopefully a tasty dish. You know, we want them to be tasty. Yeah.
Telling her how it is.
Challenger Chris will be hoping those eggs of his are tasty. He's spooning the parfait into the white chocolate mould. They will need time to set in the fridge.
Where's the bottle opener?
Julia working on the cigars. Into the venison goes some beer. I know that it is stout, believe me. And lots of chocolate. Oh, the smell in here is absolutely wonderful.
It is, isn't it? It is delightful, and as we count down and the pressure certainly increases for our two combatants at the moment, pretty handy to know that one of the ingredients of chocolate is actually used to treat high blood pressure. There you go, 2 in 1.
Chocolate or not, the blood pressure will be rising as our 3 judges consider their scores later. They've each got 20 points to award, 10 points for all-important taste, then 5 each for presentation and originality. All the judges' scores are then combined for a total out of 60.
Chris Badenoch is playing with a little bit of pastry there. This is katifi pastry. It's a Middle Eastern pastry, often called bird's nest pastry. Will be prepared to make perhaps a nest.
That would be right.
Iron Chef side, we saw a caramel being made before. Sugar and water in a bowl, heated, darkened. On go the hazelnuts, over goes the caramel, into the chiller to start off praline. Iron Chef sides, frying off the sweetbreads, little dusting and seasoned flour, into the hot butter. Those sweetbreads, beautiful dark butter, browning off so beautifully. The praline going into the blender. That is the hazelnuts we saw before. Out it comes. Beautiful.
Is that going okay?
An official taste test there, Chef Chris. Quality control. You're no stranger to performing against the clock. How are you faring at the moment, mate?
Well, we're up against it, and we're not really used to chocolate, so the pressure's absolutely ridiculous. But, hey, let's give it our best and see what happens.
Talk us through your dish, mate, and what you are trying to achieve.
We're just trying to showcase what chocolate can be. You know, it can be sweet, can be savoury, and I do like to introduce beer when I can, when it's appropriate, so it's about just showcasing that.
Is this the hardest challenge you've ever had?
This is pretty hard. I mean, we've been throwing some curly ones, but just, you know, and look at my competition. Come on.
Good luck. We'll leave you to it.
Hugh, can you poke your head in that oven? Look at those nests.
Yep. Little moulds in the bottom of the moulds.
To go.
On the Iron Chef side, sous chef Jose picking out the very best of those hazelnuts, inserting a little skewer inside each of those hazelnuts into the toffee. And just letting the toffee drip down. Looks like what he's trying to do is allow it to cool and allow like a little bit of a formation, a little bit of a sculpture, a little bit of a beautiful touch that you'd see in his restaurant. Iron Chef Gian Brahimi. Beautiful piece of venison. It has been rolled in spices, fried off in a saute pan, now sliced fine. Over on the Challenger side, a beautiful little cigar being made there. The venison mixture being rolled up inside a bit of brick pastry.
Come on.
Challenger Chris Badenoch beginning to squeeze out those white chocolate eggs filled with duck liver parfait.
Can't get the eggs out.
Challenger Chris not coming out too easily?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The eggs are stuck in the mould.
No!
The fragile chocolate under threat of being completely cracked and ruined. Would you normally spray something in there to prevent it from sticking? Like a canola oil or something to prevent it? Or is this just a random act that's pulling them unstuck?
They only stick when you're on TV.
Oh, hit a nerve there with the Challenger.
Those eggs were driving me insane. They just wouldn't pop out of the mould. The kitchen's so hot, my hands were hot, and I didn't leave them in the fridge quite long enough, and I was stressing out. We had no white chocolate left, no mousse left. I was like, it's do or die.
Back to Kitchen Stadium, where Iron Chef Brahimi is creating a sensation with the special ingredient, which is tonight, of course, chocolate. Over on the other side, no strangers to a television kitchen. Our challengers, chefs Chris and Julia, up against the ropes time-wise. Can they punch their way out of this fight in the final moments as we race to the finish line?
So far in Battled Chocolate, we've seen Iron Chef Brahimi's vanilla bean ice cream completed. This will accompany his rich chocolate tart and be finished off with praline and chopped hazelnuts. His sweetbreads have been pan-fried and they'll be dressed with gingerbread and chocolate sauce. On the challengers' side, venison and chocolate cigars are now in the oven. And while one crisis with rhubarb and raspberries was averted...
You can do it in a saucepan.
Sure?
Right. Yeah, it's cool. Just melt the sugar and the raspberries first.
Another problem is now emerging. The duck liver parfait and white chocolate eggs aren't coming out of the moulds. Will Chris crack under the pressure?
Challengers Chris Badenoch's side was seeing things beginning to fall apart.
Those eggs were driving me insane. And the first one popped out and it was broken a little bit. I was stressing out. They weren't working.
Challenger side again struggling with...
There you go, look, it just wasn't cold enough.
It's one of those stupid things where you're panicking and not thinking, but yeah, that could have been disastrous.
He has had a success. Very happy now.
How are we going for time?
4 minutes.
Iron Chef Brahimi serving up the venison now with the chocolate soil. This is art in action. Whilst on the challenger side for the next stage, and a touch of glamour. Gold leaf over the egg. White chocolate, gold leaf. Gold leaf is a completely neutral ingredient. It doesn't taste of anything, but just adds a beautiful touch of baroque colour on the plate. It is a stunning piece. Iron Chef Brahimi, beetroot puree on the plate, venison next to it, and a beautiful little touch of micro-herbs. Foam gun has come out. Jose is struggling to make this work. Here we go. Oh, yes. This, of course, gingerbread sauce. On the challenger side, here's the beginning of the dressing for the venison cigars. Pine nuts, raisins, peas, a little bit of Pedro Jimenez sherry, very, very sweet. A beautiful foil for the flavour of chocolate. On the Iron Chef side, there's the chocolate tart about to be plated up with the ice cream. Challenger side, chocolate and venison cigars out of the oven.
Starting to brown.
Looking nicely brown. Challenger Chris Badenoch now taking out the panna cotta out of the mould. Will he have more luck with this than he had with the chocolate egg?
Yep, cool.
There's only 2 minutes to go. We need to see this on the plate. Will this come out perfectly? Iron Chef side, seeing the little hazelnut sculptures. Absolutely beautiful.
Come on!
Challenger side still having problem getting the panna cotta out of the mould. Is this what it should look like?
Oh, yeah.
He's happy with that. Not too sure myself.
1 minute to go.
Iron Chef Brahimi plating up the ice cream, vanilla ice cream, and chocolate tart. Challenger side, finishing touches to the panna cotta. Out comes the rhubarb onto the plate. Carefully lifting it over.
No butterscotch, honey.
The challenger, Julie Jenkins, she still says there's no sign of the butterscotch. There is a component of her dish missing. Iron Chef Brahimi, sweetbreads. Challenger side, there's a good look there. Some things are happening well. The chocolate venison cigars are on the plate.
Yes. Much everybody loves chocolate, but maybe not on our challenger side at the moment. The final stages remain. This is going to be close.
Iron Chef side, there's the chocolate gingerbread sauce going on the sweetbreads. Go, challenger Chris Badenoch is plating up nicely.
10 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Battle over.
Well, I would have thought something so sweet would leave a sour taste in the mouths of our chefs. That was a tough ingredient to wrangle tonight.
Chocolate. Tonight we had some great, amazing hits and a few misses as well.
It was a tough one. I think Chocolate lost a couple of fans tonight, both of our chefs, for one. We will pick up the pieces, though, when presentation. That's the next stage. We present to our judges. Plating and tasting, that's next. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Aaron from Aaron's Outdoor Living. We're having our huge once-a-year display sale this weekend. 20 to 50% off absolutely everything. Crazy discounts You'll think I've gone crazy. 20 to 50% off home studios for that extra room, tropical thatches, cubby houses, garden sheds, and much, much more. 20 to 50% off. Google Aaron's. Aaron's Outdoor Living, Campbellfield and Carrum Downs. Look out for the big orange balloon.
Life truly is wonderful, and when it's my time to go, I really want my family to celebrate my life exactly how I'd like to be remembered. But most importantly, not to leave my family with the cost and burden of making all the decisions associated with planning a funeral. I chose a fixed price funeral plan, ensuring the cost of my funeral today is fixed forever, and we can get on with enjoying every day. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Suntough, Australia's popular polycarb roofing sheet, blocks out harmful UV rays while letting in maximum natural light. Suntough lets in light and reduces electricity costs, making a contribution to their environment. Available from Bunnings Warehouse. Suntough products by Poweram. Ask for them by name.
The V8 supercars are bigger and better than ever. New cars, new rules, even better full throttle action.
Your new series of V8s right here on 7.
This month at Radio Rentals, your credit history is history. Available across our entire range. If you want a lounge or dining suite, quality bedroom package or fridge and washer, we'll give you a fair go because with us, your credit history is history. We focus on your present, not your past. And remember, we're the home of Rent Try $1 Buy.
Hurry, call Radio Rentals now on 131 181.
What's that? Energized, double the protein.
Energize, pumped with double the protein of regular Up and Go.
Welcome back to Iron Chef Australia. No one said this was going to be easy. Our chefs are relieved that the hard work is now behind them after 60 frantic minutes that really proved to be one tough challenge.
Ingenuity and creativity was needed as both chefs balanced sweet with savoury, using the secret ingredient, chocolate.
Chocolate is great, but it is a very difficult ingredient to manage. Too much, it's too chocolatey. You know, not enough, you don't taste it. It's not the easier ingredients you could pick.
Challenger Chris Badnock fought hard to overcome his beer and meat roots.
I must admit, when I saw it was chocolate, my heart sank and I thought, we're screwed. But at the end of the day, you rise to the challenge, and there's no option.
Thank you.
Iron Chef Brahimi, please tell us what your inspiration was for tonight's secret ingredient.
We have to create 4 dishes, so we try to create a sort of a menu. And we try to find a meat that goes well with the chocolate, and we thought a gazpacho of venison would be quite appropriate. So we really focus on, of course, the chocolate, but also the venison and the beetroot.
Bon appétit.
I know the judge is going to enjoy it, and that's the most important thing, the taste of it. I haven't thought about losing at all, no.
To me, it's textbook stuff. Chocolate obviously goes so well with venison, it goes so well with beetroot. They all have this natural affinity together.
For an Iron Chef who's built kind of like the Iron Man, you wouldn't expect something that could be just so light and gentle. I just think it is brilliant for that.
It's very French. It's held back. It's not a plate in your face. It's as close to perfection as I think we're going to get.
Thank you very much.
Chef Chris Badnock, please tell us what your inspiration was for tonight's secret ingredient.
Our inspiration was to showcase chocolate. It's such a versatile ingredient. First course is a white chocolate egg with orange zest in it. Encased in that is a duck liver parfait. sitting on a nest of pastry and a bit of chervil.
Thank you, Chef.
I think this looks like a Darrell Lee window at Easter time. It doesn't look like a sort of food you would start with. It's possibly inappropriate to a first course that includes duck liver parfait, but we'll see what it tastes like.
I just think he's really into hats. Look at the cold.
I'd say it's one of the hardest hours of cooking in my life. The pressure's enormous, but it's fun. At the same time, it's still fun, so I don't know how that works, but maximum stress, maximum fun, it's good.
I really like the orange in it. I think it works well. And it's interesting because what we're looking for is the chocolate to be the star of the dish. I think that the clever thing about this dish is it actually hides the flaws that I normally associate with white chocolate.
I think the white chocolate is actually the yin to the parfait's yang. It's a creamy, sweet counterpoint. They actually play off against each other very well.
Very nicely. Very good.
Thank you.
This is a bit of a gingerbread and chocolate.
Great smell.
This is a veal sweetbread. I think the gingerbread and the chocolate goes very well, and the sweetbread is a little bit of a delicacy. It's so special. So bon appétit.
And sweetbread, for people who would be challenged by it, I think this would be the dish that convinces them to try it, because it's just, the textures are soft and quite luxurious. The interesting thing about sweetbread is it doesn't in itself carry a lot of flavour, so it needs some strong accompaniments to sort of bring out its best. The chocolate really enjoys its company, so they go together really nicely.
I think the Iron Chef he's singing from the songbook, but he's singing a damn good tune. You can't improve on this.
Thank you, Larissa.
This dish is inspired by the classic combination of venison and chocolate. So we've made some venison and chocolate cigars, and we've got a nice sweet sauce, which is morcilla, some toasted pine nuts and some raisins that we poached in a little bit of Pedro Ximénez sherry. Enjoy.
It's about time someone in this country came up with a chocolate sausage roll, and it's good to see that you've done that.
I really love the Pedro Ximénez raisins and the pine nuts. I think the peas are a bit extraneous. I understand that you need to add a green element, but I don't really think they add anything except colour.
I'm sort of thinking, though, peas dipped in chocolate, at least I could get my kids to eat them. That'd be one solution.
Possibly.
This is a pre-dessert. So we did a white chocolate mousse and a soup of strawberry, and we couldn't pass the beautiful raspberry we just started, and a granita of white chocolate on top of it.
I don't know if I can be so bold as to suggest something to the Iron Chef, but this, to me, it's a lovely dish, but it's too sweet for a pre-dessert course.
I'd like almost to have just nothing but that chocolate and milk mixture.
Yeah,
we don't want to cook for you, but just make it a take on a creme brulee almost. Yeah.
This is our first sweet dish. It's a chocolate porter panna cotta, chocolate sorbet. We have a framboise jelly, which is a Belgian raspberry beer, and we've poached some rhubarb with raspberries as well, just to contrast with the sweetness of the chocolate.
They say a good panna cotta should tremble like a frightened bird. This one doesn't really tremble, it sort of wobbles a little bit if I try really hard.
I'm a bit like Larissa. Unfortunately, this panna cotta is harder than the plastic surgery on a Hollywood starlet,
Shakeability aside or whatever, it's just got this very beautiful and unusual, intriguing flavour. I think what's coming through here is a singular kind of originality. There's always this quirky little touch, like a bit of beer in it, which is most unusual and just adds another edge to the dishes that he's delivering to us.
Thank you.
The last dish, we decided to do this warm chocolate tart, so it's just really 100% chocolate. And with that, I just thought doing a very decadent vanilla beans ice cream, so that would be the little crunch in the mouth.
I love the fact that it's warm with the iciness of the ice cream and that absurdly rich egg and vanilla mixture. I noticed when you were making it, just gutting those vanilla beans to give it the intensity, which you can never get from vanilla essence or all the things that most cooks use.
It is good, there's no doubt about it, you know, but it doesn't quite really push the boundaries of the chocolate the way I'd hoped to see.
Our final dish. This is two different textures of chocolate, a chocolate cake and a chocolate cream. And we've made another beer jelly. This is a Creek jelly, so it's a Belgian sour cherry beer. And a little quenelle of coconut sorbet just to offset the whole thing. Enjoy.
I think that's a winner as a dessert for my money.
Thank you.
What I like in this is that the chocolate is certainly there, but it's understated. It doesn't sort of, you know, run out screaming at you.
It does a little dance. It's beautiful.
And texturally, it's remarkably light, isn't it? It just
light,
flits along.
It seems dense.
Yeah.
But it's quite light.
Surprisingly.
Chef Badenoch, thank you for a wonderful meal.
Thank you all so much. Being judged by these professional food critics is really intimidating. But in saying that, every comment is worth its weight in gold.
Judges, you have tasted all the dishes. You now have a decision to make. Make it wisely.
Chocolate against French master Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi.
There is a high degree of technical difficulty in tonight's battle. Chocolate is not the easiest ingredient to work with.
The Iron Chef presented venison carpaccio in chocolate dust, veal sweetbreads with chocolate gingerbread sauce, white chocolate mousse with raspberries, and a rich chocolate tart.
Everything went well, so I'm very happy with what we did. We gave it our best.
The challenger plated up white chocolate egg filled with duck liver parfait, venison and chocolate cigars, chocolate porter panna cotta, and chocolate cake with beer jelly.
I'm very proud of the team. You know, Hugh did an amazing job. Julia's a fantastic cook, so I'm very proud of them. I'll buy them lots of beers after this.
Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi. Challenger, Chef Chris Badenoch. The judges have spoken and they have been very impressed. Their scores on taste, plating and originality have now been tallied to give tonight's result. Challenger, Chef Chris Badenoch. Iron Chef, Guillaume Brahimi. The winner of Battle Chocolate is... Iron Chef Guillaume Brahimi. Very well done by the both of you. In fact, this is exactly how our judges voted.
Out of a possible 30 for taste, Iron Chef Brahimi scored 24 to the challenger's 19. The Iron Chef won out for presentation too, scoring 13 out of a possible 15, while Chris received 11. But adding beer into the mix proved an absolute hit, the challenger scoring higher for originality. Overall, though, a sweet victory for the Iron Chef, 48 to 43.
Chris is a bloody good cook, taking on one of the icons of Australian restaurateuring and cooking. And as such, it becomes wonderful. It's gladiatorial combat, that's what it is.
The French, chocolate, need I say any more?
It's very easy to fall in love with the chef with a lot of chocolate. So we're fond of both chefs, but Guillaume probably gets a couple more kisses. Oh, the French love a good kiss.
So once again, congratulations to our Iron Chef and his team. Next week, join us once again for another secret ingredient, another fantastic battle, when Kitchen Stadium Australia fires up once more and asks the question, whose cuisine will reign supreme? Until then, I'm Grant Denyer. Good night, Australia.